So, tomorrow we're off to Zoyland in Somerset. And before I get on with this episode, which is episode 1 of Behind the Scenes Grassroots, I do want to put a quick disclaimer in. Zoyland is an invite-only event. I always get messages when I upload videos and pictures about how can I get on the list? How can I drift there? The short answer is you can't, I'm afraid. It is invite only, and this is to maximise seat time and less fighting over trying to get a spot. You can, however, go over to Zoyland Drifting Media on Facebook and view all the pictures and videos that are uploaded by people like myself. So, with that said and done, I hope you enjoy this episode.
Do you believe in love after love?
Morning. It is 7 o'clock. 4 degrees. But it's blue sky. Well, it's blue sky here in Exeter anyway. Let's hope it's the same in Zoyland. So, whilst my car warms up, I've got my cup of tea. R2D2. This cup wakes me up. I'm trying to think. And let's go to Zoyland. So we're just on the M5 now. Got about 45 minutes until get to Zoyland. For any of you that haven't seen my behind the scenes of Drift League GB, just give you a quick rundown of what this series is. So, I am looking to show people the real side of drifting. For any of you, if you're watching this, chances are you've watched drifting, you know what drifting is. I also explain it all as best I can in my behind the scenes Drift League. But I want to show you the real side of it. The side that you don't get to see on most YouTube videos, unless it's quite heavily faked. A lot of the Americans or things like this. The builds, the repairs, the cars going wrong. I want to talk to the drivers and give everyone a real idea of, to be honest, how hard it actually is to be a drifter. And I'm not talking in terms of the skills needed to actually drift, but I'm talking in terms of the extra hours at work to pay for bits, the cost, the time needed spent in a workshop. I'm hoping during the series I get to see that. Now, with my other series, behind the scenes Drift League, it's all the pro stuff and the competition stuff with Drift League GB. This series is the grassroots stuff. So this is your budget builds. This is the people learning maybe to be able to do competition drifting. It's just the low end stuff. And this is where drifting starts. Not many people are going to be able to just go out, buy an expensive drift car, instantly have the skills and what, and just go to a competition and just start drifting. It takes time to get the car set up, learn what you need to learn, not just with drifting, but in terms of mechanical side. This series, that's what I want to help teach everyone. and let you all see. And I myself am a bit of a realist, and I think it's about time that the real side of drifting is shown. So you know full well you might go out and spend £15,000 on an S14 or an S15. You have the money, you can throw all the bits together in that and pay someone to build your car for you. You're still not going to just go out and drift. Stuff goes wrong. You need to learn what you're doing. And another thing I do want to highlight is safety first. Don't niche out on safety, because it can save your life. We do stupid things as drifters with cars. They are not built to go sideways. They are built to be gripping in a straight line, like my little Honda Jazz is right now. So taking the car sideways is pushing the car out of its comfort zone, out of what it's meant to do. It's gonna break, it's not gonna like it, and it's gonna take you a while to get that car set up right to be able to do it happily. So, without further ado, hopefully I will make it to Zoyland in time for a driver briefing. I'm pretty sure I will. And let's get on with the day. So, in the morning, you turn up to Zoyland, you park up, you usually be directed where to park by the marshals, and then you go over, you see Chris, and you sign on. Sign your waiver and necessary legal paperwork, and you're given your run order and a layout for the track. Now for Zoyland, it's more of a just run how you want to. The track layout is a guidance really, especially for when it comes to twinning with someone. You want to have some sort of idea of where they're going to be going. Once you signed on, had a bit of a catch up with everyone, you unload your car, start warming it up, unload your tyres, just get yourself ready to start drifting. Have a look on the run order, see whereabouts it is you're going to be running, so you can just keep yourself ahead and get in the queue ready for your turn. About 9 o'clock-ish, 9:30, Chris will pull you over and do the driver briefing. Now the idea of this briefing is to kind of just go over the layout, the rules, and just basic idea of how the day is going to go. It's also a legal thing, it's health and safety. You know, drifting's a bit of a dangerous sport, so he has to cover his own ass as well as just let everyone know what to expect, especially if it's your first time there. So here we are, Zoyland. Got the driver's brief going on behind us. Basic health and safety, track layout, just letting the drivers know the rules for the day. And then all the drivers will go back to their cars. They have a run order, got a list, who goes when. If you're twinning, then obviously you can jump next to whoever you want to twin with when it's their go. But yeah, so the driver's brief is now over. Let's get drifting started. Then the morning starts, usually around sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock. Most drivers will go out and they'll go out by themselves, just get a feel for the car, get a feel for the track layout, find where the grip is, find out tyre pressures, and you know, if there's bits of mud on the track, where it's slipperier, and all this sort of stuff. This is also a time for the marshals to kind of see that all the cars are staying within the regulations. Although there is no scrutineering at Zoyland, there are still limits. There are villagers that live nearby and all the rest of it.
And the biggest thing with drifting is the noise of the cars. Now this guy here, he's not been drifting long, and I believe it's one of his first times at Zoyland. His car was extremely loud. He had a straight through with a shotgun exhaust on it, and it was just ridiculous noise. So he was warned he had to try and quieten the car down a bit. He put a sock in the exhaust and taped it up. It didn't really help. By lunchtime he'd run out of tyres anyway, and he had to go home. But the limit for drifting, I believe, is 110 decibels. If your car is louder than this, I don't think any tracks in the UK that will let you drift. Charlie is going to be putting a silencer on his car for next time. It's one of those things that happens, especially when you're sort of rushing to get your car ready the night before. We're all guilty of it. He was warned, and in the day he wasn't kicked out for the noise of his car. It was because he ran out of tyres by lunchtime. And it's just an unfortunate thing.
Now, these two guys I've not put in to embarrass. This is something you don't see a lot of. This is their second event, second time ever down here drifting. Drive all the way down from Poole in the MX-5. It's a completely standard car, and they come to learn. And everyone starts somewhere. This is where these guys are starting. No one judges. They have been given advice and hints and all the rest of it from people. And this is what makes drifting great, because everyone's here to help each other. There are people here, if you ask them, that will come out in the car with you, give you pointers and help you out. But Zoyland is a brilliant place to learn where to start. The great thing about Zoyland is it's such a mix. You've got people that have been drifting for years, like Kev here, and then you've got the people that are just starting out, learning how to drift, like Ellie here. And like I said before, no one judges. Chris won't let anyone judge, and it's just such a nice atmosphere. It's events like this. There are some up and down the country, are the best place to learn. And the best thing about being a regular attendee at Zoyland is watching how people progress quite quickly. It's fantastic. And again here we've got Will, who has been drifting for years. He hasn't actually been out for a little while, but it was nice to see his R32 back out on the track again. And this is Matt, who is one of two turbo MX-5s that are quite regular attendees here at Zoyland. And this is the other turbo MX-5. It was built quite recently, and it's a shared car between a couple of drivers. But again, it's a hell of a little car. Putting a turbo in an MX-5 looks fun. And this is the bit you don't get to see all that often, and that is the poor marshals having to clean up the mess when drivers hit the cones, mess the track up a bit. If there's any oil thrown in the track or anything like this, the marshals have to go out and sort the track out, clean it up.
So be kind to your marshals, don't hit the cones. You also have to bear in mind that these cones cost money. That will come out of the entry fee, come out of Chris's pocket, and also any cones that are donated to him for Zoyland. So for every cone you destroy, it could end up costing money to the organiser of the event. Now this stunning car is Marcus. He doesn't have a lot of luck with this, and like I was saying at the beginning of the video, you could have all the money to throw into the car and everything, it might not always work. This is a prime example of it. Marcus has spent a lot of money to buy the car, but he's also put the money in the right places. He's had engine rebuilds and everything on it, and he's got it done properly. And the car still continues to plague him. He barely gets a day of drifting out of this car, and it's such a shame to see. I believe on this day he actually spent pretty much the entire day under his car trying to work out what the issues were that he was having. It was cutting out, he had issues with his battery, he had issues with his steering. It was just issue after issue, and it was the same for BHP last year, where I believe he threw a valve, and that was the reason he got the engine rebuild. We finally got it back out this year, and as you can see, again, just had no luck, and it really is just such a shame to see, because it is such a nice looking car. You don't see really all that many R34s or Skylines in general drifting these days, just BMWs. To have something that's so nice, looks the part, and it is built well. It's just, I think it's just Marcus's luck, and it's got to get to the point where he's just got to throw in a towel in the car. And we see here Adam's BMW. Now this car is known in the drift scene from when Ian used to drift it. Adam is also plagued with issues with this car. He had one run the entire day, and the rest of the time was either under it, under the bonnet, just trying to fix it. And this is what I want to show you in drifting, is this happens a lot. You're going to have times where you turn up to the event, get a run, and your car breaks, and that's it for the day. You're going to have events where you spend the whole time trying to fix it, like Adam did, like Marcus did. Drift cars break on us a lot, and you got to understand that seat time is great. Seat time is what you want to learn to drift, to get your skill better, but sometimes seat time doesn't always happen, and you will spend 90% of your time working on the car, and you'll spend 10% of your time actually drifting the car. But the way you have to look at it, there is no gain to drifting. There isn't many competitions where you're ever going to earn the money back that you put into the car. This is a sport of passion. If you got the passion for it, you enjoy it, brilliant. But if you get bored, if you get frustrated constantly, you get to the point that you hate it, don't do it. You know, there is no big gains out of drifting apart from your adrenaline run and the social side of it all. The stuff that is behind the scenes is here to show you, is there is so much social gain. The amount of people you meet and become lifelong friends, it's fantastic. but financially, don't think you're going to come into drifting and ever recover what you spend on it. It's an expensive sport with no prospect of getting that money back ever. Even when you sell the car or anything, you're just not going to make the money back. But those of us that have the passion for it, we don't care. We do it because we like it. We do it because we love it, and we just love everything about it. And that's what you really need to understand with drifting. But now we've got rid of the depression side of it, let's have a look at some of the fun side of it. So first of all, Kev was nice enough to take me out as a passenger with him. Kev has done some competition stuff. He does some of the demos, maybe BHP, you see him, he does passenger runs at Autofest. Same with Paul, who is chasing him here. You will see more of Kev. Hint hint for some of my upcoming episodes. And we would dive more into the car and a bit more about him then. Next up, I got to jump in with Paul to chase Kev, and we are with Paul in his V8 S13. It's his first time out since he's put the V8 in it. He did have some issues with coil pack popping out, as he has converted it over 2 coil packs. He took a little bit of time to kind of find his grip and get the car running right, but by the end of the day he was absolutely flying. Again, you get to see Paul at some demos and events, so keep a lookout for his car. Next up, I got to jump in with Sam as we were chasing Bobby. Bobby was driving the Mark 1 Supra that you saw earlier on. Sadly, he blew his diff up and it pooed oil all over the place. So he got in his backup car, this 3-litre Touring. And this is actually his first time ever out on track with someone else. So he was a bit nervous about it, a bit hesitant. But again, this is what this grassroots stuff is about, is learning. And Sam is a brilliant driver, very much a door hunter. And so it's a good practice for Bobby. And this time I got to jump in with Bobby in the 46 Touring, chasing Sam. Just to say again, this is Bobby's first time on track chasing anyone, and he was nervous about it, as you would be. You know, it's this risk of crashing into other cars, or them crashing into you, or all this sort of stuff. It plays on your mind a bit. But Sam's a very consistent driver. It's a good person to chase. Is someone that is consistent, taking the wide lines, giving you room to get inside. At this point, sadly, Bobby did slide a bit off and hit the cones, and actually got the cones stuck under the wheel. So he does get called off track, which he was a bit upset about, but he got himself back out on track again, and hopefully he will continue to practice twinning with people, and I'm looking forward to watching him improve. As the day starts drawing towards an end, people will start leaving early. They've run out of tyres, their cars are broken. Their days just had to end early. So seat time will start to increase. And at 4 o'clock, they will announce it's an open pit, which is basically the run order no longer exists. You just get in your queue and you just keep going out. Then about 4:30ish, they start doing 1-minute runs. And so you go out on track for a minute, go nuts, burn your tyres up, whatever else, and then track shuts 5 o'clock dead.
Just gone 5 o'clock, drifting stops bang on 5 o'clock, have an open pit at the end, and as you can see, most of the drivers are gone. A few of the drivers stayed behind, helped pack up all the cones, get the track put away, let's get it all sweeped up, see, somewhere over there, Cam, sweep up the track, and yeah. Another day it's all been done. Go home, edit all this. Didn't get any driver interviews today, I'm afraid. But I got some pasture rides. And I look forward to editing this all. And hope to make a half decent video out of this. Till next time. So it's now 6:45. I stayed behind to help the sweeping up, packing the track up and everything. Like I said before, a couple of drivers helped as well, which is always fantastic to see. I caught the sun quite nicely. But overall it's been a really good day. It's dry all day, which is fantastic. And we had a few cars break throughout the day, which happens. It's part of drifting. Cars are going to break on you, and as gutting as it is, it happens. And it's what the drivers say, it happens. It's part of drifting. As I said before, I didn't get any driver interviews today. Most of that was my confidence. I quite happily talk to the drivers, no issues and stuff. It's just this whole vlogging thing, being so new, but with the behind the scenes of Drift League, hopefully getting out to see the drivers in their units and stuff, and take a couple of takes, build myself up a bit. But I got some passenger laps in. I went out with Kev, I went out with Paul, I went out with Sam, and I went out with Bobby. So I've got an S14, an S13, E36 Compact 3 litre and an E46 Touring 3 litre. Bobby's first time twinning. I think he did really well. Sadly with his chase run, he got cone caught up inside under the wheel and had to end it early, as you see. Again, it happens, he got back out on track not long afterwards. It didn't cause any damage. It's just you don't want to keep drifting with a cone caught up there because it can affect your steering, and it's not something you want to risk. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you'd like to see more, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions that you would like to ask drivers, I will sort out my confidence and do interviews, and so I'll ask drivers your questions. Anything you want to ask, just comment below, and hopefully I will see you for episode 2.
Do you believe in life after love?